look at that. It's got dust on it. I can't trust these things. There we go. Feeling like Chance the Rapper or ARTV. What is up, guys? It's Ricky live from the Rick the Line channel, and we are doing a little quick review of the new Rhian Sheehan album, A Quiet Divide. I decided to film this one in front of the camera because it's a bit of an improvised, quick, firing off thoughts sort of review. I didn't really have too much to say on it because it's pretty self-explanatory for what it is, but I still do want to review these albums. I do always feel like passing word of these albums on to you guys is something that I always want to be doing. So, Rhian Sheehan is a New Zealand composer. He has created beautiful albums like Standing in Silence and sort of like a musical tribute to New Zealand landscapes, places that don't involve Takapuna and spookers. This guy has quite the maximalist approach to composing music, although it can start off pretty minimal, just as pieces sort of build and create this incredibly dense and thick and inspiring wall of strings and even a bit of like post-rock rumbling, the guitars that rumble. And on this album you can find that on tracks like We Danced Under Stars or whatever. You forgot the name of the song, you fool! But alas, this is not really anything too new from Rhian Sheehan, although I do highly recommend it, but it doesn't really need to be anything too new considering the fact that Rhian Sheehan does what he does really, really well. A Quiet Divide is extremely beautiful just for its simplicity and just how beautiful the melodies are, the compositions, like the strings seep, and the way that these little post-rock joints kind of feel like big earthquake, tectonic plate moving moments that kind of change the whole mood of the album. Goes from a sense of isolation and loneliness to this sudden epiphany of wonder and awe. So while this album's style is predictable in a way, and it does become a little bit like that towards the end, like the back end of the album, it does have a progression, it does have like a sort of instrumental story to tell, and that's what I really love about it. I love the fact that Rhian Sheehan isn't just like chucking like very generic string orchestral soundscapes and ambient soundscapes into his music. He's definitely thinking about how each piece is going to progress and how the album is going to progress with a bunch of different pieces in different places. Now, I've never conducted an orchestra before, so I can't really get into the technicalities of that sort of stuff, but I do know some Italian terms like legato. Maybe I should just leave that, actually. That's a bit embarrassing. Just the way that some of these musical pieces feel so suspended in mid-air, like they're actually trapped in a single moment in time, taking a breather moment, ready to move on. A lot of musical moments like this have been some of my favorites of the year, or some of the most impressive and impactful moments for me personally this year. I love it when musicians decide to implement this feel in this music, this very introspective moment in time where everything is just frozen and iced over, and just waiting for that one little rush, this warm rush of blood to the head to just propel you forward and keep you motivated for things to come. Moments like Lost Kite Theory from the Sean Reedy EP, or I Shall Love 2 from the new Julia Holter album, and to an extent even the Mount Erie live album that's just come out very recently, where Phil Alvarum performed a bunch of those really sparse folk tracks in front of an audience, but the room he performs it in just still feels so empty and isolated, like he's still reasoning with himself in the room. Now, these aren't in the same genre as Rhian Sheehan, obviously. However, they are examples, to me at least, of musical moments that manage to evoke that feeling in completely unique ways. And although Rhian Sheehan is the most obvious way of doing this within symphonic and ambient music, what makes Rhian Sheehan's music stand out from a lot of other contemporaries in this field of modern classical music is his approach to songwriting. And I say songwriting with these thingies because they're not really songs, are they? I'd give this a pretty solid, enlightened, and very star-twinkly 7 out of 10.